Yo, what is going on guys? It is AJ Bants here. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new around here, then now is a great time to subscribe. I upload daily content just like this, so let's jump into the video. Okay, so in today's video we're going to be talking about my top 3 Warzone loadouts. These are just the loadouts that work best for me. They are by no means the best loadouts in the game, but if you are interested in seeing them and you want to try them out for yourself, then stick around for the video because we're going to jump into it right now. Okay, so for the first loadout we've got the Graw and RPG. The attachments on our Graw, we've got the monolithic suppressor, the Tempest 26.4 inch Archangel barrel, FSS Blackjack stock, 60 round mags and Commando full grip, RPG. Perks, we're using Cold Blooded, Ghost and Amped. For the lethal I'm using a C4, and for the tactical I'm using a heartbeat sensor. And you'll see I use those same 2 lethal and tacticals for all of my classes. I think that those are probably the 2 best you can use. Moving over to the second class, we've got the Kingly Splendor, which is an armory variant of the M4A1, and secondary we're using the MP7. For the attachments on our M4A1, we've got a stock M16 Grenadier. On the stock we've got an M16 stock. Rear grip we're using a granulated grip tape, 60 round mags and Commando full grip. For the MP7 we're using the monolithic suppressor, the FSS swap barrel. On the stock we've got the no stock attachment. Rear grip we're using the stippled grip tape, and underbarrel we're using the Commando full grip. For our perks we've got Cold Blooded, Overkill and Amped, and we're using C4 and heartbeat sensor. Moving over to the next class, which is actually the class I use the most, we've got the MP7 and the Boomslang, which is an armory variant of the AX50. For the attachments on the MP7 we're using the monolithic suppressor, the FSS recon barrel, Forge Tac Stalker stock, 60 round mags and Commando full grip. On the AX50 we've got a monolithic suppressor, 32 inch factory barrel, thermal sniper scope, Singard arms marksman stock and rubberized grip tape. I am thinking about changing the optic to either the variable zoom scope or just a stock one, but we're going to try that out in the future and I'll let you guys know how that goes. For the perks we've got Cold Blooded, Overkill and Amped, and again C4, and tactical we've got heartbeat sensor. Okay, so now I'm going to go into where these classes perform the best and why I use each of them. Okay, now starting off with the Graw class. As you guys already know, the Graw is an absolute beam, so it does really well at mid to long range. I mainly use this class if I'm trying to play the game a little bit slower, trying to sit back and take those shots, because this gun really performs well at mid to long range. Of course you can pick up kills at close range, but if someone's got an SMG they're probably going to take you out, which is why I've got the RPG as my secondary. When I'm using the Graw I'm trying to keep those fights as far away from me as possible, but if someone does manage to get close up then I can hopefully take them out with the RPG, or at least take off enough damage so that I can finish them off with the Graw at close range. We're using Cold Blooded and Ghost so that we can go undetected on the heartbeat sensors and UAVs of course, and we use Amped for faster weapon swaps, and it also works really well in this class because as well as faster weapon swaps, it also increases the reload speed on RPGs. Moving over to the next class, we've got the Kingly Splendor. Now similar to the Graw class, this gun does do really well at mid to long range. It doesn't do as well at long range as the Graw does, but it is still a really good gun. I use this class mainly for mid-range fights, and we've got the MP7 as our secondary just in case that team decides to push us and we end up in a building fight or something like that. An SMG is always good for those close range fights. The perk Cold Blooded of course so that we can't show up on the heartbeat sensor. We need to have Overkill because we have a primary weapon as our secondary, and Amped again for those faster weapon swaps, which actually makes a huge difference when you're getting pushed. You really want to be able to swap to your secondary as fast as possible, so I'd highly recommend using Amped. Now moving on to the next class, which is actually my main class. I probably need to change the name of this one. I don't use this as my main class anymore. This class is great for close range. I use this class to play super aggressively and just put pressure on people. I like to push with this class because of course we've got an SMG, so we do really well in those close range fights. And you're always going to get into a situation where someone's trying to beam you across the map. So it's good to have a sniper as your secondary. Just in case you do get into a situation like that, you want your loadout to be versatile rather than just close range, because when you do find yourself in those long range battles you are probably going to lose it. For the perks we're using Cold Blooded, Overkill and Amped. Cold Blooded again so that we don't show up on the heartbeat sensor. Overkill goes without saying, you need to have Overkill on if you want to have a primary weapon as your secondary. And Amped again for those faster weapon swaps. Now what I'll do when I'm playing Warzone is I will get this class on the first loadout drop, and then the second loadout drop we get, I'll get this class. Now the main reason I picked this class up from the second loadout drop is because it has Ghost on it. So I won't actually use these guns, I'll just pick the class up so that I get the perk and then I'll pick up my other guns. So that's a little tip for you guys. Always have a class that has Ghost on it so that you can have 2 primary weapons when you pick up your first drop, and then you can also have ghosts when you pick up your second drop. I'd highly recommend doing that. So that is it for today's video, guys. If you did find it helpful, then please press that like button, leave a comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I'm still the 97 Leo killer, about to pull a trigger, never switching up. I just wanna go and get it with my friends and spend it, cause I go and get it if I want. I don't wanna second guess it, living in a second, and you coming second to the one. Lately I've been accurate, reckless, wanna bag your necklace, I don't have a second, gotta run. But I recommend this life is what I wanted, made a little bit of progress since we started. I don't think I gotta say I go the hardest, I've been thinking about my future, go the farthest. I think I back home was in Japan.